A very good evening. You're joining Prime TV News with me, Vibhuda Vijay. First, let's look at today's headlines. The President stresses that presidential candidates should divulge their environmental policies. An additional hour to cast votes. Presidential candidates, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader invited to an ITN TV program. The suspension order on the death penalty extended. Boris Johnson to try again a 12th December election. And now for the news in detail. President Maithripala Sirisena said that the presidential candidates must very clearly state their policies in relation to environmental issues in their election manifestos when they are presented to the general public. The president said that the environmental destruction all over the world has become a major threat to all the living beings, including the humans, and which is why the politicians must make environmental conservation their top priority. The president said this during the Environmental Excellence Awards 2019 that took place today at the Nelumpokuna Theatre. The Presidential Environmental Awards is organized in order to improve the participation of civil society in environmental conservation and to uplift the cooperation among civil society. The private sector and government organizations as well as businessmen and several industries were awarded under 20 categories in appreciation of their contribution to environmental conservation. A total of 12 gold awards and 7 more awards for international winners were handed out by the president. Presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajid Premadasa, says he will take measures to make the profession of a tuition master a well-accepted occupation. The presidential candidate was speaking at a meeting with a group of tuition masters at the Water's Edge Hotel in Battaramulla. Sajid Premadasa stated that under his future administration, steps will be taken to promote cutting-edge technology. He highlighted that information technology, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence will be promoted at the school level. The presidential candidate also pledged to improve English teaching facilities at the government schools to meet international standards. Sajid Premadasa also promised to initiate industrial zones in every divisional secretariat area right across the country. He said that the government will pump the capital to embark in the project. Meanwhile, he met a group of Sri Lankan Malay people in Wellawatta yesterday. The event had been organized by the Dunya Malahi Dunya Islam organization. The event was attended by the president of the organization and the several government ministers. While responding to a question raised by an attendee of the forum, presidential candidate Premadasa said that his policy manifesto aims to increase local agricultural production with a bountiful harvest. He said that giving fertilizer free of charge to the farmers under his future administration is not intended to bag votes but to promote the country's agricultural sector. He said that his intention is to make the country self-sufficient with rice. Presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa says the highest amount of investment will go to education under his aspirant administration. Gotabaya Rajapaksa was speaking at a public rally held in Sangilian Park in Jaffna that was organized to uphold his victory in the upcoming presidential election. The presidential hopeful further noted that the Mahinda Rajapaksa administration was playing a crucial role in transforming life in the northern and the eastern provinces. He stated that the highest degree of development went to the two provinces during the Rajapaksa regime. Addressing the gathering, the presidential candidate highlighted that 90% of land held by the military was released to the civilians during his tenure as the defense secretary. He pointed out that a great deal of infrastructure, including highways and electricity, was established in the northern and eastern provinces by the government led by former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The presidential hopeful stressed that he will be committed to improve education in the country, and a huge sum of money and resources will be invested in education during the first year of his prospective administration. The presidential candidate also said that creating jobs for the youth and introducing business opportunities and enterprises to them will also occupy pride of place in his agenda. Presidential candidate of the National People's Power Movement, Kumar Dissanayake, says his policy manifesto ensures a better life for the people in agriculture. The presidential hopeful was speaking at a public rally held in Matale. Kumar Dissanayake further said that Sri Lanka produces high-quality agricultural crops as compared to many countries. The presidential candidate noted that his policy will never allow space to produce low-quality crops in the country that would damage goodwill of the Sri Lankan products. Kumar Dissanayake also said that quality standards will be introduced to transportation, packaging and all other relevant aspects of the production process. He noted that the life of the farming community can only be improved by ensuring better income to the farmers through high-quality products. The Elections Commission has decided to grant additional 1 hour time to cast vote in the upcoming presidential election. The Election Commission states that people can cast their vote from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the 16th of November. Special discussion was held at the Elections Commission under the patronage of the chairman of the commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, to educate political party representatives about the measure. While speaking to reporters, representative of the JVP parliamentarian Bimal Ratnayake said the Elections Commission has taken the decision to extend the voting time due to complexities with the ballot paper. He pointed out that no party representative object the decision of the commission. Non-cabinet minister Ajit P. Pereira said that they raised the issue of partiality of private media in case of reporting the presidential election. The non-cabinet minister said that commission has told them it has no authority to act on private media. But according to Ajit P. Pereira, the commission can write to the Telecommunication Regulatory Commission, which is the authoritative body pertaining to the media institutions that use electronic waves happen to the public property, to take necessary action regarding the misuse of TV channels. Ajit P. Pereira said that still nothing has been done in connection with mitigating the biased reporting. Representative of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Basil Rajapaksa appreciated the measure of the Elections Commission to extend voting time to ensure universal franchise of voters. President Maithripala Sirisena vested several projects with the public today, which were implemented with the aim of preventing the chronic kidney disease and for the welfare of the kidney patients. The President, using the remote satellite technology from the Presidential Secretariat, declared open these projects. First, President Sirisena, using the remote satellite technology, opened the Economic Welfare and Educational Information Centre built to empower kidney patients in the Giranduru-Kotte District Hospital at a cost of 89 million rupees. Meanwhile, the President vested 9 water purification systems established in Anuradhapura, Puttalam, Kurunagal and Kandy districts with the public, which were installed with the financial assistance of the Presidential Task Force on Prevention of Chronic Kidney Disease and various philanthropies and the labour assistance provided by the Sri Lanka Navy. The ITN media network invited the main presidential candidates, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader to take part at the Samvada current affairs program being aired over the ITN TV. Arrangements have been made to telecast the program in the live tape format. Accordingly, presidential candidates Sajith Premadasa, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Kumar Dissanayake and General Mahesh Senanayake have been invited, in addition to Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and the opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa. The production team of the ITN is ready to get the contribution of the presidential candidates recorded from a convenient place for them if they are unable to attend the program live. The TV program with the participation of presidential candidates is scheduled to be telecast during the final week of the presidential campaign. The Supreme Court today ordered to extend the suspension order on the implementation of the death penalty till the 10th of December. The order was given when 12 fundamental rights petitions that demanded to issue an order to abolish implementation of death penalty was taken up before the Supreme Court today. The three-membered bench of judges chaired by Judge Bhuvanekalu Vihare informed that these petitions will be heard before a full bench of judges chaired by the Chief Justice in future day. The petitions have named Commissioner General of Prisons, Attorney General and the Minister of Justice as the respondents. Minister Ranjit Bandara says the current government has increased public sector salaries drastically as compared to previous governments.
Ranjit
Bandara made these comments at a press briefing held in Colombo today. He further said that autonomy and independence of the public sector employees have been ensured by the present administration. Hence, time is opportune to support the presidential candidate fielded by the ruling party to continue to the progressive measures. Non-cabinet minister Ajit P. Pereira recalled that during the previous regime, atrocities were rampant. He added that the judiciary system was intimidated and public service was hindered during the previous government. He stressed that the presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa's victory will consolidate the progressive march. Former Minister Tissa Attanayake highlighted that they are working to bring a truly democratic leader to the power. Several representatives from other political parties who are willing to support Sajid Premadasa also spoke at the press briefing. Minister Mangala Samaraweera stresses that the general public should object the bad media practice of money laundering media channels. The minister said that media channels, for instance Hiru Media Network, have been engaged in the money laundering and manipulating contents for their advantage. Minister Samaraweera also said that the intention of the owner of the Hiru Media channel to get release his sentenced brother from prison and carry out his illegal activities under a regime that supports their activities. The minister further noted that current government would not resort to any negative measures like sending white vans, attacking the media premises. Minister Samaraweera pointed out that the general public should come forward and raise their voice against the bad media practice of the infamous tycoons. He also urged the members of the Pohotu party to take action against Hiru Channel, as they will too have to face the same fate in the future. The Ministry of Finance announces that the luxury tax formula will not be applied to small-scale motor vehicles. According to the ministry, the tax will be applied to luxury motor cars and jeeps. It was decided to impose a tax on luxury motor vehicles by amending the Finance Act according to the budget proposals for the year 2019. The Ministry of Finance emphasizes that the relevant tax will not be applicable to small-scale cars, vans, single-purpose cabs, double cabs, motorbikes and motor tricycles. Though double cabs were subjected to the tax, it will be removed from the 1st of next month. The luxury tax was in effect from the 6th of March 2019. The minister says this new tax is applicable to all the vehicles, even that have opened the letter of credit for importation. The luxury tax will be imposed to the diesel and petrol motor cars and jeeps when their value exceeds 3.5 million rupees. For the hybrid vehicles, the tax limitation will be 4 million rupees, and for the electrical vehicles, the value will be 6 million rupees. Meanwhile, the tax based on the cylinder capacity has also been revised. Accordingly, the diesel cars and jeeps less than 2,300 cylinder capacity and petrol motor cars less than 1,800 cylinder capacity will be exempt from the tax. The tax exemption is also applicable for electric motor cars with less than 200 cylinder capacity. The Met Department says the atmospheric disturbance in the Arabian Sea has developed into a low-pressure area and now located to the southwest of Sri Lanka. It is likely to move away from the country while developing further. Hence, effect to the country from the system can be expected to reduce gradually by tomorrow. Tomorrow, possibility for severe lightning during evening thunder showers over northern, north central and northwestern provinces is high. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by strong winds and lightning occurring during thunder showers. Showers or thunder showers will occur in western and southern provinces. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere, particularly in northern, north central, northwestern and central provinces after 1 p.m. Heavy falls above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in northern, north central, northwestern and central provinces. Windy condition is expected to increase up to 50 kilometers per hour at times in the western and southern provinces. With that, we end today's Prime TV News Bulletin. Prime News will return tomorrow. And in the meantime, make www.itnnews.lk your go-to source for the very latest in news from home and overseas. Have a pleasant day. Good night.